what would you, when you finished writing it, okay, and now that you're thinking back on it and it's about to hit the real world and create all kinds of ripples, um,
I hope so.
what are the, hopefully, right? What are the top two learnings that you want readers to glean from your book?
So that's really hard to just say 2.
Well, you've
Um,
done hard things already, so this should be easy.
Thank you for encouraging me. Uh, Number 1, that, role modeling is a thing, and that it is so important for our actions to mirror our words. And mean that from the standpoint of what I did with my family, but also as I was leading Impact Austin, my words didn't always mirror my actions, and I had to learn sometimes painfully from that. So role modeling is a thing, and I think the other is um, find your passion. My story is just an example of what I did to create a positive ripple, if you will. We all have the opportunity to do that in some way. We have to find our passion. And then instead of sitting back and saying, gosh, I wonder if somebody would ever do that, say, I think I'm going to. And it doesn't matter if you fail or you don't get as far as you think you should, taking a step forward is better than doing nothing at all. And that has paid dividends for me my whole life as I look back on it. Those two learnings for me were really important. One thing I want to say though is when I initially started writing this book, I want to be clear. This was really a love letter to my family. I wanted them to see how they had inspired me and what I learned and all that happened. And I truly believed that if all I did was keep that on 8.5 by 11 paper, stick it in my hope chest, and when I passed away, maybe my grandchildren would read it and go, oh, that's what she was about. I didn't know that. And that would have been enough. I had someone step into my life last fall saying, no, everybody has a story and it's worth telling. Don't make it small. And so that's when I got the courage to really, put it in print and share it with the world, and we'll see what happens.